Welcome, YouTube, to the Hit or Miss Show. I'm the big dog.
I'm lucky, y'all.
And boy, do we have a twofer for you again tonight. We watched Predators, and then we watched Prey. Now, both these movies are trying to revive the Predator franchise. And I think they both did really good.
They're good movies, yeah.
Yeah, like, especially Predators when they actually go to the Predator home planet.
Yeah.
Or it's not so much the home planet, it's their hunting planet. And I guess that's where they go and they take people and other animals and stuff and they learn from them to be better killers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought about bringing Arnold and Danny Glover back for this movie.
Well, before we get too far into that, we should get the intro out of the way.
Yep. Well, we got everything we need for this review. We got our beverages. We got our Florida State flag. And we have our review. Predators and Prey. You know, and it's 12, and these movies are 12 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And compared to the first two, which are like 30 years apart, 30 years between all four of these movies. I like them better than I did the AVP movies. And that doesn't take much.
I was just about fixing to say that. So far they've been the two best movies of the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I like how the evolution from the Predators start from the beginning all the way up to Prey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Prey takes it back to like a primitive predator.
Right.
Like he has some high-tech weaponry, but not really. Like he's got this wrist cannon. It has this gun thing that goes by his helmet.
Right, that shoot bolts.
Yeah, that shoots bolts, which I thought was pretty cool instead of
Yeah.
having the shoulder cannon. Which the shoulder cannons in the last few movies have been kind of anticlimactic, you know? It was kind of like a novelty piece, like it's there.
Yeah.
But Predators, you know, it was good.
Like you were saying, they were dropped off their hunting planet, I guess you can call it.
Or as they like to refer to
A
it.
group of them, and they were all violent in one way or the other.
Yeah, like you had like a mercenary, you had a gangster from Tijuana, and you had
A psychopath
guy, you had a guy from like the Chinese or Japanese culture, and then you had everybody from every culture and every range of whatever you can think of. And it's got Lawrence Fishburne in there acting like Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, he was a little crazy in this one.
Which is kind of funny because they thought about having Arnold and Danny Glover come in there, where Danny Glover was going to play Lawrence Fishburne's character, and then Arnold was going to play the main lead guy.
Yeah.
And they both said, no. You gotta think, they're both, in 2010, I think Arnold was still governor.
Yeah.
And they're both, like, senior citizens at this point. I mean, not like they weren't before. But yeah, I thought it was nice.
It was a good movie, like...
The visuals on both movies were amazing. I mean, they did very good visuals. And I liked the cloaking in both movies because it wasn't transparent or it didn't have like a grainy, edgy
sheen.
Yeah, where it was blending well with the background.
Yeah.
What I liked about Prey was there was a scene where he like sucker punches a bear.
Yeah.
And then picks it up over its head.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And then, the female lead in the Prey, she starts out kind of sucky, and then turns out to be a real badass, especially when she goes to try to rescue her dog from the fur trappers.
Yeah.
And then she's just killing them all. And she turned out to be a real badass towards the end of the movie, which I thought was kind of funny because throughout the whole movie she's either being captured or getting her butt kicked.
Yeah, it was a little crazy, but it was good. Like we said, it was a good movie.
Yeah, and the brother, who is like the badass of the both of them, ends up sacrificing himself so she can,
Yeah.
because he knew that she could kill him. And he basically sacrificed himself so she can get away to regroup and come up with a plan. And there was a part where he knocks the Predator's helmet off and the bolt goes wherever the beam goes.
Right.
And then she figured out that if she can get the helmet off somehow and place it somewhere, then it could backfire on the Predator. Now, there was one scene where she takes this medicine, takes her blood cold.
Drops her body temperature.
Yeah, and then, which I liked that better than the mud.
Yeah, the mud was kind of stupid.
And the Predator ends up walking past her, which I think he would have done anyways because he didn't think of her as a threat. But she stands there, point blank range, directly behind the Predator with a pistol, with a flintlock pistol, and blasts
him in the head to knock his mask off.
Yeah, and you'd think at that close of a range, that thing would have killed him.
Nope, it was the bolts.
Yeah, yeah. And she ended up grabbing and while he was sitting there screaming because he got shot in the head, she had time to grab the mask, set up all these booby traps within a span of like 2 minutes.
What'd you think of the Predator hunting other predators? Because there's like two different in the first.
Oh,
movie.
predators, yeah. Well, they hunt in threes apparently.
Right, but they had a predator chained up to the wall,
Yeah.
and the guy said they take the bigger ones, hunt the smaller ones.
And then they use the smaller ones for like bait.
Right.
And the one guy makes a deal. He's like, "You get me off this planet, and I will
Let you go."
and I'll let you go." And he gets everything all done. Like he activates the cloaking device. He sets the coordinates for Earth. All they have to do is get to the ship.
Yep.
Which I guess was kind of pointless to begin with because he could just take the ship. The one Predator ended up taking his wrist thing and blowing it up. Anyways, so you think he got blown up and he died.
This is where the psychopath comes in.
Yeah, like Topher Grace. You know, he plays a psychopath guy who's, they use him as bait multiple times in the movie. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, there's a scene where he's like, "I got something that you could be useful at."
Yeah.
And he shows him running through the woods. He stops there as the thing dies, and he's like, "Fuck all of you!"
Yeah.
You could really tell the actors that overacted and underacted. Topher Grace was like underacting because, you know, he's ever since that '70s show, he hasn't really done much. He hasn't been a standalone actor. Like he wasn't a breakout star like, you know, the other characters. So his acting was kind of bad. And just think about it. This was right after he did Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
This movie, Predators, was a box office smash. It made a lot of money, but it bombed critically. A lot of people criticized it.
I liked it.
I liked it too, especially Lawrence Fishburne playing a guy that's crazy. He's like, "I've been here for 10 years."
Seasons.
Yeah, well, 10 seasons. Which, for me, I thought it was done by the year. But as soon as they get done wiping out the 3 predators and the ship gets blown up, they're sitting there on the log. Him and this one girl are sitting there on the log, and they see the parachutes coming down, and they're like...
Not Lawrence Fishburne, the other dude.
Yeah, the main dude, Royce, turns out to be his name. And they had a great callback to the first movie in Predators, where I guess she was the chick from the jungle in the first movie.
Yeah.
And so they sit there and see these parachutes coming down. They see the boxes with the dog creatures in it, and they see the people, and they're like, "Let's get off this fucking planet."
Yeah, the second time they used the F-bomb.
Yeah, twice on the whole movie. I mean, they have to get that rating in there somehow. But like I said, the action was great. The build-up in both movies for the Predator was awesome. Like, I like the evolution in Prey, where he starts out, he kills a snake, and then he kills a wolf,
Yeah.
and then he kills a bear, and then he tries going after man. He wiped out pretty much almost the whole French fur trappers.
Yeah.
And I guess he was no match for the one little 100-pound chick.
Oh, and the Easter egg with the gun.
Yeah, they made a callback to the second Predator movie where, at the end of the second Predator, where they gave Danny Glover the pistol and it had the guy's name on it, 1715. Well, they showed it where she got it from one of the fur trappers for helping him.
Got his leg cut off.
Yeah, his leg cut off, and he was put medicine on it and everything, and it was nice because for the whole time you're like, okay, she got a pistol, and then finally at the end of the movie he gives it to the chief, and the chief looks at it and it says 1715 and the guy's name Raphael something or another, which I thought was cool. I would like to see more of this,
You mean if they come out with another Predator movie? Because usually when they come out with a prequel, it's usually the end of them.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice if, down the road, if they did another one. I mean, but maybe this would be a great way to end it because then it came full circle.
Right, like they did with Final Destination.
Yeah. And it came around full circle, and I liked how they did that. Like, it tied, like the first Predator movie kind of tied up the Predators tied up the first movie, with the girl being there. And then they had Prey that's tied up with the second movie as a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl's basically telling them, hey, we have to move. I said, we got to move to higher ground and get more protective in our stuff because people are coming. Things are coming.
And that sound that Predator makes, that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And held a hunting party that was sent out to find the girl because she went out after the Predator. Well, didn't know it was the Predator. He knew there was something out there that she was tracking.
She's badass with that hatchet.
No, yeah. And I liked how she tied the rope to it. She made a rope out of the bark from the tree.
Yeah.
And one of the guys is like, you got a leash for your weapon?
Yeah.
But she sat there and practiced with it, and it was kind of badass. Like,
yeah, she kept it sharp.
Yeah. And it saved her life one time when she was stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
She flung it at the stump and got herself out, which plays a role at the end of the movie when she lowers the Predator in there. She has a dog companion, which was awesome, and I'm glad the dog actually made it through the whole movie unharmed.
Yeah, what was that dog's name?
I can't remember, but the dog was badass, though.
Yeah, it was a cute dog, too.
But yeah, there's not much to say about these movies that hasn't already been said before, but they're both really good movies. I mean, I'd watch these over the AVP movies any day of the week.
Yeah, and well, like, I haven't seen the one we're missing.
Which is the Predator, which is
the Predator,
the 2018 movie.
Right, but the two we just watched, the Predators
and Prey.
I gotta say those are probably the two best movies out of the whole franchise, like I said earlier.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, the first two...
They're good, they're just dated.
Yeah. And those two are another one for a great watch, but you could see how, like, the first two movies started out as totally different movies, and they just dropped the Predator in there. And these movies are focused more on the Predator aspect of it. Like they dropped the people in there while the Predators are basically practicing their hunting skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was basically like a rite of passage for both the female lead and the Predator because they dropped him off there, I guess, to be a better hunter. And she wanted to go out and do this whole ceremonial thing where she wanted to be
a
hunter.
Right, she wanted to be a hunter, not a gatherer.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed them. I'd definitely watch them again. Like I said, I would love to see where it goes, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Because anything from here on out would just suck.
Well,
I mean, it was kind of like that roller coaster. They started out great with the first two, and then they dropped the ball with AVP.
Well, I mean, like, They already have a lot of movies. Predator, Predator 2, AVP, AVP 2,
Predators,
Predators,
The Predator,
The Predator,
and Prey.
and Prey. That's 7 fucking movies.
Yeah, yeah. This would be the time to end it. I mean, it came full circle. Just like the Alien franchise kind of ended after AVP, because you can only do so much with these characters.
Right.
But that's our.
Maybe they might be able to do like a Freddy vs. Jason, but like a Freddy versus Alien, or
Or
Jason versus Predator.
what I would like to see is Jason versus Mike Myers.
Yeah, that'd be a hell